Be starting at 8 o'clock, guys. See you soon. What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. So we have the player of the table is Tommy Dale, and his opponent tonight is Michael Mathieu from Florida, originally a Connecticut resident, and he's up here for the Lisciotti Cup that's going to be here at Racks tomorrow. And they are playing 9-ball, rack your own, magic rack template. They are playing Call the 9. The 9 must go last. If they make it early, they spot it and keep running. Michael Mathieu is going to 16. Tommy Dale is going to 12. So we put 4 on the wire, and they're both going to 16 scoreboard wise. And I'm joined tonight by my good friend Kenny Hoke. How you doing tonight, Kenny?
What's up, Lance? How we doing, guys?
So, chat, I'd like to see some predictions. A lot of people have been saying they think 2.0 is in a very favorable game, but we're going to have to find out.
Yeah, I think it's a little closer than everyone's saying.
I agree. So, chat, I'd like to see some predictions before you get too much information. It's easy to make predictions after a while, but let's see what they look like early in the set.
Yeah, all right, so we've all seen Tommy. I mean, we're all pretty familiar with Tommy's game, but not a lot of people. I mean, everyone should be familiar with Mike Mathieu, but I don't know if he's been playing a lot. Do you know anything?
So,
playing a lot, or?
Last year around this time, I had picked him as an alternate for the Lisciotti Cup, and he had been playing like 8 to 10 hours a day every day, and he was in dead stroke. Since then, he went back to work at a dealership selling cars, which he's done for years, and so I would have to assume he's not quite playing as much as he was at this point last year, but he had a year to, refine his skills, and he told me that he'd been working on his mechanics quite a bit, so which I think is good. Not that he had poor mechanics before, but I think he definitely had some little things to clean up in his mechanics. So, so that alone could make him a ball or two better than last year, even if he's playing less, in my opinion.
I agree.
But we're gonna have to find out. And he hung the 3, and Tommy has a good chance here. So, I think many people, it's my opinion, and I think many people would agree that the winner of this set is going to be determined by most likely the first 8 racks.
Right.
When you have a 4-game spot to 16, if the favorite, which is Michael, who's spotting the 4, if he can catch those 4 early, it's a huge mental swing. The favorite knows he's the favorite. The dog knows he's a dog. Say it's 6-6, race to 16. It's an even race to 10, and 2-point up Michael Mathieu, who we will call 2.0 all night, has a 100-point Fargo edge, which in reality it's not 100. It's a little lower. Tommy's robustness is low. I believe it's about 320 racks. So, and he's been playing a lot. So, he has a high year when he's playing good.
So it should be a battle, definitely.
Yeah. So that could be a big mistake if he ends up losing this rack, because he should have ended up with a pretty routine 9, and this is not routine.
Well, you know what they say about the first rack.
I sure do.
What do they say?
They say it's the toughest to win the first and the last rack. Yeah. He's not settled in yet. His nerves are going to be, and he hit that good. His nerves in. So let's see if this new scoreboard feature works there, chat. I've been working at implementing some changes here. So at the bottom, you'll see a digital pool scoreboard where the players are keeping score at the table, and the purpose of that is we always have the score correct, and if I was to take a quick break, bathroom break, smoke break, whatever, the score will remain correct at all times on screen. And the other additions we have, bottom right, is a YouTube and Facebook live viewer count. And then another new addition is, just give me 1 second here. And then another new addition is adding the YouTube and Facebook live chat on the bottom left side of the screen, which I'm going to look to make a little bit larger in the future. I've done a lot of tinkering in the past week, so oh yeah, and P. Brown in the chat, the owner of Racks here. It's great you're casting on YouTube. It's on the big screen right now, no more mirroring. So that is another new feature. is we are also live on YouTube right now, simultaneously with Facebook, and that's at the MakeaScoreTour page on YouTube. That is very nice for people at home who want to put it on their smart TV. Typically with Facebook, people will have to screen mirror or screencast, and it ties up your phone.
Right.
So now you can put it on YouTube and still have access to your phone and get in the chat and have fun.
So Tommy, let's talk pool here. Tommy went for the one and he completely missed it.
Yeah, it looked like he was looking to thin it and come down table and play distance, and he missed it. And this 1 to the 2 is funky though. I'm surprised 2.0 is not playing safe and burying them behind the 2 and then taking ball in hand later. This is tough to go.
Lockup right here.
Yeah, I would probably play the lockup and then look to get ball in, because I mean if you wedge him in between the rail and the 2, and you put the 1 down by like the 4ish, or like behind the 9 or something, like good luck. Oh, so he's just gonna do it. He's gonna do it now on the 2, which
is a little bit harder.
No, it looks like it lays pretty good. If he played position for it, yeah. So that's very good. So now Tommy plays a lot of one pocket, so he's gonna be familiar with this 2-rail kick out of the top left corner. You basically kick 2 rails out of the top left corner and you play to scratch. You play the cue ball in the hole. And it's a very comfortable line. I don't really like the way he's looking because you got to load it up with left. I mean, it's not terrible, but I feel like the 2-railer at the top left is a lot more predictable.
I like that too. Yeah.
But if he doesn't have, okay, so he didn't have to like really load it up with left there. So I don't mind that. I thought he had to like slow roll it with more left to make it bite and
just
dive.
Barely missed.
Yeah. So 2.0 with ball in hand, and this was his plan, to make the 1, play safe on the 2, get ball in hand, and run out. So everything's going according to his plan so far, and this is the important part, which is executing and putting your first rack on the board.
Yeah.
And that's pretty important because Tommy won the first rack, and giving up 4 to 16, you really don't want to start out down 2-0 or potentially more.
Right.
So, chat. Let's check in with the chat here. We got Dylan Perez. He predicts 2.0 wins 16 to 13.
Ooh.
Will Cook looking to bet a little something on 2.0.
Okay.
Anthony Blaze, a.k.a. Tony the Tiger. If Tommy wins this set by more than 4, will 2.0 still spot him again? Yeah, that's a good question. 2.0, he's not scared.
He might say flip the coin.
Yeah, I mean he's got a lot of gamble in him, so it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
So he got a little funny here. He's gonna have to draw and go back. Yeah, draw out and go back, and this will work. He hit that pretty well. He would like to come up a little bit straighter, so like he's got a funny angle to where he has to pick to roll it or go firm back and forth. I think he'll probably go back and forth. It's more comfortable. He slow rolled it, and he got great on that 9 ball, and it looks like it looks like he's gonna respond, and he sure does. And with the spot, so from here on out, we're just gonna talk real-time score. We're not gonna go back and forth about this 4-game spot a million times. Hopefully everybody's aware of the flyer that clarified 16 to 12 race. So it's 5 to 1, and 2.0 is going to want to dig into the spot a little bit. YouTube is about a minute behind Facebook, for your information. So Mark, is the audio matching the video? Do you mean that if you load up both at the same time that YouTube's just slightly behind Facebook, or is there like a syncing problem with the audio and video? Like, could you clarify that, please?
So 2.0 to break?
2.0 to break, and this is going to be important to watch the break all night. The wing ball is going to be automatic all night.
Wow.
And there's 4 balls down. Now, is he going to get a shot?
So it's going to be a breaking contest.
Yes, slightly behind. Okay, Mark, thank you very much for letting me know that. So that is one of the new features tonight, and I'm going to look into that. I can't really tinker while it's live, but it's something I will look at. So on YouTube, I believe you can live rewind. Hit hit like where it says live to like catch you up, because I actually noticed, I had tested it the other night, and I noticed that like there was like a 10-second delay, but you could skip forward to live. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but there's like a live button you can hit that brings you totally live in case you had rewound and started watching. But regardless, I'm going to look into that, and thank you very much.
So 2.0 made a nice bank on the 3, I believe, and then just played the 4 on the side, the 5 on the side.
Yeah, he's cooking here. He's looking for a break and run.
It's easy when you're making 4 balls in the break.
Yeah.
It's good to have 2.0 back up north, though.
Yeah.
His action was always good around here.
Okay, so Mark says, yes, that worked. Live button took care of it. Okay, so, all right, great. So that is one of the, I like, on Facebook now, by the way, chat, you should be able to live rewind. If you want to go back and watch that 7 ball again, you should be able to go back and watch it right now and then skip back ahead to live. Now, there is a downside of that where, like Mark just had, he didn't know he wasn't fully live. You know, you might be watching like 5-10 minutes behind, not knowing that you're just catching up type of, or you're like 10 minutes behind or whatever. So I'm going to have to see if that trade-off is worth it or not.
So just like that, 2.0 breaks and runs.
Yeah, he looked sharp that rack. He made that opening bank on the 2, and then he was in line properly and stayed in line. And
nice out by him.
Yeah, so now we have a score of 5-2 in Tommy Dale's lead.
Yep.
So guys, there's the Lisciotti Cup tomorrow, Saturday. That's going to be this weekend, Saturday and Sunday at Racks.
If you were looking around the table over here, you notice something's different. That's for the Lisciotti Cup.
Yep, that setup you see with the seating behind the table, and there's a bunch of other stuff that you can't see, but there's a lot of stuff set up in preparation for tomorrow. And we got some guys coming in sweating this match out. We got great player Alex Bosch in the background there.
Yep.
And we have excuse me. We got Gerald from US1. He came down to sweat it. He knows 2.0 real well. Lucas is in the building. There's a lot of good guys in the building.
Yep.
So if you're in the area, come on down, because I guarantee you could find some action if you want to make a fair game with someone.
Yeah, Dylan, these are it's your standard 4.5 inch pockets. Standard diamond.
Yep, and the table is playing. It's well broken in.
Yeah,
so
it's playing pretty tough.
Yeah, it's playing about as tough as you'll see a standard diamond play, which I really like how it's playing right now. I like to spin the ball. I like to stroke the ball. I don't like playing tap rolling pool, and
sliding.
Yeah, I don't really enjoy playing rotation on tight pockets, but these pockets play like perfect to me, because you got to hit them good, and if you do, they go in, and there's a little room for error, but there's no slop. There's no that guy dogged it and a diamond up and it went in.
Still
you know,
in,
yeah. No, people have
been, when you don't hit it good.
Yeah, if you thin cut a ball and you touch the rail going in, forget it. It's at a low speed. It's hanging every time.
So now we get to see Tommy.
Yeah, you know, early, I'd like to say that. I mean, very early in the set here, but he looks loose. He looks comfortable.
Yeah.
We saw him play Frank, Gaetani, and he played Sean, right?
Yeah,
Sean Dixon.
Sean Dixon, yep.
And he struggled in those matches. He did not play his game. And
yeah, there were bits and pieces where he came out firing, and then he kind of the drive died down a little bit, but
he just never really got comfortable and played his game. And tonight, I like what I'm seeing early out of him. He looks comfortable, and he looks comfy. And I think that's very natural, that if you're going to play an action match on this stream and there's live people, spectators in the building watching and stuff, I think it's expected that the first time you do it, or maybe even the first 2 times you do it, the nerves might get the best of you a little bit, and you might not just play your game, But
oh, man.
He made a big mistake there, hanging that 7.
Yeah. I think we might see a little bit more of that tonight than we're used to.
What's that?
The balls hanging in the jaws.
Oh yeah.
Just
So
from rattling.
yeah, he didn't hit that 7 perfectly clean. You know, like that.
Spin, a lot of spin.
He hit like the opening of the pocket a little bit, and any other table in this building, that ball goes in.
Right.
But
he hit that a little harder than he wanted to.
Yeah, he got a little funny.
Enough.
He got a little funny here. He might use some high left and go 2 rails out of the bottom right corner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he can dig into it enough and go low left and stay above the 9.
Right.
And if you do shoot that and touch the 9, you're in big trouble because that left is going to rocket you up table. Mm-hmm. So I like him to go forward. And he did, but he didn't hit that well.
That's a big mistake.
And it looks like Tommy's got the whole ball. He would love the whole ball because he wants to get to the bottom side of it, to the bottom short rail.
Right.
That's his preference here to play position. He can do it a million different ways, but that's the most ideal way. And it appears that he's going to have the bottom rail. Now he can use high right here and spin up, or he could go 1 rail. He used high right.
Yeah, a little short. But
yeah, and that's a big mistake. You want to fall. You'll hear me say this a million times, guys. If you keep watching in the future, you want to fall above a 9 in this area instead of below it. It's much easier to go above it and have a very comfortable shot than be below it and back cut it.
Yeah.
And when you back cut it like he just did, like 70% of the time, the side pocket scratch is in play as well. So now you need to manipulate the cue ball as well.
Yep.
And even if you use low running English and draw above the side, it creates a 2-railer to scratch in the other side. So believe me when I tell you, you want to always fall above a 9 ball that's roughly on the spot area rather than below it. It's not even close. Go set it up and shoot it from the low side and the high side 50 times each, and you'll know exactly what I'm saying. But regardless, he made that and he got out, and he takes a 6-2 lead. And I think we're going to have a good match tonight.
I agree with you there.
Yeah, because Tommy's looking comfortable so far. 2.0 showed a little weakness hanging that 8 ball.
Yeah, they both hung the ball.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think the over-under for that is probably about 12.
Look at this. 3 balls down. And with a shot. And then 1-2 and connects to the 3.
I think we're going to see a lot of good breaks. Though.
Yeah.
Like we have.
I think we're going to see a very nice tempoed set tonight. You know, both of these players play at a nice speed, nice tempo.
Yep.
And I think it's going to be very enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. And if you're around this weekend, guys, come down for the Lisciotti Cup.
Yeah, come sweat that. That's, oh boy, Saturday, I jinxed them. Saturday, Sunday starts at 2 o'clock, and we have some of the best in New England in that. Lucas and Bob Mendengen and Pete Genovese and Ryan Cullen and Michael 2.0 and Ray Mack and who am I forgetting?
Kevin Guimond.
How do I forget Kevin Guimond? He's like the second highest Fargo, I think. That's how loaded it. Ryan Lynham.
Yep.
John Vitale.
Yep.
A lot of it's going to be some great talent. I really love to play in anything Lisciotti related, and I'm sitting out this year. But man, I'm so excited for it just to watch it. You know, because like it's such a different mindset of playing and watching.
Right.
And I'm not saying I don't enjoy playing, but it's a lot more stressful.
Sure.
You know, like now on a Friday night before the Lisciotti Cup, I'd be home, you know, trying to wind down and relax, and now I can stay out and have fun. And I'm like, man, it's fun. And I'm expecting some great pool. I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
That was. He tried to break it out, I think.
Yeah.
But came a little short of the angle.
So, Michael, that sounds weird calling him Michael.
Yeah.
I don't want to always say 2.0 because some people might not know who I'm talking about. So, chat, Michael Mathieu his nickname is 2.0, as in he's the second coming of Lucas. That's where that name originated. And they're good friends. They've gone on the road together in a lot of events together, and they like to gamble together, and they're they're partners in crime.
Yeah.
They have a good time.
He's
so.
also on Lucas's team.
Yeah, that's true. I believe Michael. It just sounds so weird when I say it.
Yeah,
I believe
we'll
Mike was the 5th pick.
And the MVP of last year.
Not last year, the year before.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, he's had.
I think he's been in all of them.
Yeah, I think you're right. And the year he had the MVP was amazing. Amazing. So Tommy, he might bank this down table below the 8-9 and go back and forth with the cue ball. Maybe try stick it behind the 5. And even if you leave him the 3, it's 9 feet of distance, rail to rail. I don't like cutting it in. I don't like banking it. Yeah, so I think that's just too aggressive. You have a 6-2 lead. You know, things are looking.
I'd have to agree with that.
Yeah,
you might want to play it safe there and try to.
Yeah. Now, you know, he might have said, I want to just jump all over this guy, and, you know, but it's just, you got to play the percentages. And I think the safe is the long-term percentage play there.
Especially when you've got a player against you chasing.
Yeah, right.
Chasing your score.
Right. Now, fortunate enough for Tommy, he left the balls goofy, and unfortunately for 2.0, he just got a slightly cold roll of that ball hitting the point and going back towards the pocket, because now Tommy can roll up on this and go one rail with a nice line on the 5.
Then you got the 8-9. That's goofy.
Yeah, chances are the 8 goes in probably the bottom left or the bottom right, one or the other. We're going to find out shortly, though, I'll tell you that. Now, even if it doesn't, this has a pretty decent line to go into him.
Yeah.
But
you can miss them and be...
a lot of bad things can happen.
Sure.
You could go right face into the 9 and freeze on it. Yeah.
The 8 to the rail.
You could hit like half of the 9 and scratch in either corner. A lot of goofy things could happen.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what was going on there. Yeah, that's not ideal. He understroked that one by quite a bit. Will Cook, what are your thoughts on the Moscone Cup? Oh, boy.
Oh, don't get us going.
Yeah. I'll give you the PG version, which is... They just... it's like a team of Michael Jordans playing a team of, like, LeBrons, but, like, the 5th guy is, like, the water boy or something. Like, it's just not, they've got 5 world champions, and we've got 3 phenomenal players, and no disrespect to Tyler or Shane Wilford, but they're like fill-ins, you know what I mean? Like,
they're great players.
They're great players,
just these,
but when you're taking 7, Tyler's like probably 770, and Shane Wilford's probably like what, 760? And they're being put up against like 820 world champions. Right. I mean, like, that's just it's not a fair game.
And you don't got Shane playing his game.
Yeah, and you're right. Our
superstar,
our second best player now, because we have Fedor. He's got like a 30-something% all-time winning record in Moscone. So like even our anchor, our guy of the past 10 years
USA,
isn't even, and I'm not knocking him. It is what it is. It's just
he just doesn't have a good history.
USA's in a bad game, and we're losing, and it's and we're in a bad game.
And
it's like
they're in the Alexandra Palace.
Right. They're in foreign enemy territory, and they're outgunned, they're outmanned, they're outmatched, and
it's like going to Raider game.
Yeah, it's like Kansas City when they had Travis Kelce and everything was flying and they had Hunt and all that, playing like
Brady.
Brady. It's like playing the Patriots of now. I mean, not quite that bad. I'm not trying to dog USA that bad, but you know what I mean. It's just a mismatch.
No, I know it is. Yeah.
So
you got some things to work on though.
Yeah, anytime it's a short race like that, there's a lot of variance, and we could get lucky, but when the variance swings to the other side, which is the better team to begin with, let's be real, it's not an excuse. Europe's won the rolls department like tenfold.
Oh, sure.
So when you have the better team also getting the rolls, which is the positive side of variance, you're in big trouble, and that's exactly what we're seeing.
Yep.
For us to compete, we need to win the side of variance, which is the rolls.
Yep.
And we're not winning them, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
All the guys are great guys, great players, but
anyone can win, really.
Yeah, but when it comes to talent, the cream rises to the top, and we're seeing 5 world champions against 2.
Yeah.
And
one very young one.
What, Fedor?
Yeah, he hasn't really matured. 100%.
I'll tell you, he looks awful human, and
sure.
And I think Fedor is the best player in the world right now.
Yeah,
I think if you had two guys play rotation, an all-around rotation, one packet, 8-ball, I'm taking Fedor against anybody. I don't care who you put in the box.
Yeah.
I used to think, well, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just that his one-pocket game came up so much, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he...
Not scared of anyone either.
Yeah, I mean, if he played Pagulayan right now, I would have to go out. You know, I'd have to lose on Pagulayan, but Fedor would probably win. I don't know.
Right.
He just shoots so straight.
Right. So let's get back to the match here. Mike played a great lockup safe behind the 7. Tommy kicked 3 rails, almost made the hit. Very, very close.
So later in the rack, the 8-9, the 8 might go in the top left. But what we'll probably eventually see is he'll pocket the 7 in the bottom right, and he'll go into the 8-9 with the cue ball. That lays very nice. He could even play an angle on the 5 going into the 8-9 because the cue ball stops and you have the 7 right there. But that's a little dicier because you could get stuck behind the 8-9 when you break them up. If you pocket the 7 and go into the 8-9, there's much less chance of getting stuck behind a ball. So we're about to find out.
I think he's trying to get.
I think he wanted the angle to go into the 8-9, but I think you just draw out to center table here, pocket the 7, and go into him off the bottom rail. I think that was your best route.
Yeah. He's a little goofy. He's not even going to hit him. I think he's going to right around him.
I don't think you even try. If he doesn't love his angle, don't even try. Just use some low right and come out and give yourself a nice angle on the 7.
I mean, from here it looks like the 8 goes in the side or in the corner where the 7 is.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, so now he's going to twist it and go into him.
Oh, nice shot. Nice shot.
That was a good shot.
Now. 9's on the rail though, but here he goes right there. So.
If he gets good on the 8 where he can roll forward, he'll be on business. And that's what he's looking at. He'd like to play the 8 in the side next and have the cue ball go up table. Basically be almost straight in on the 8 with just a little bit of angle favoring up table.
Yeah. So we got Kevin Malley in the chat saying USA still wins 11-9.
Yeah.
I'd like to take a little short bet on that.
Yeah, I'll lay you some odds.
Yeah.
So this is not perfect. It looks like if he just puts high on the ball, he's got to worry about the side pocket a little. So this is a little tricky. Yeah, I don't know. He was looking like he was about to draw on the ball, but I don't know about.
You have to stand up real quick on that one.
Yeah, I mean he could play the 9 in the same pocket, but I don't think he has to. Here. Yeah, I think you just go forward and you figure out how to not scratch on the side, really.
Yeah, if you're going to that point.
Yeah, well, but you can hit this. You can roll this so slow that the cue ball never even reaches the side pocket. You know. You can put a little left on it, so you hit the 8-ball fuller, and the left spins the 8 to the right, and it kills the cue ball's pace. You know, like some high left.
Right.
He can stun, you know, and I don't like the stun forward, but it's a little dicey because if you get closer to the 9, and if it bounces off the rail, you end up with a steep cut. So he's just going to take both in the same pocket. And as long as that 9's off the rail, there's nothing wrong with this. It's definitely missable.
Sure.
You got to hit it very good. You can't slop this one in. Got to earn this one. And he did. He hit that well.
Nice shot.
Yeah, he got out there good. So that's going to bring us to 6-4.
Tim asked Michael moved back to CT. No, I think he's just up here for the Lisciotti Cup and visiting, is my guess.
Yeah, yep, that's what it is. He's up here with his girlfriend Sydney, and last year he got picked on the Lisciotti Cup and flew up. It's like a yearly thing now. I kind of like it because it's like, yeah, we'll see him in December.
Right.
And he loves to gamble, so from the second he lands to the second he leaves, he stays in action.
Right.
Well, if there's anybody in the chat that wants to match up with him in the next week or so while he's here, let me know.
Yeah, he's not afraid of anything.
Yeah, I'd be happy to stream it.
Yep.
And he was originally going to play Pete Genovese, and that fell through. And I asked him, I said, you know, I'll reach out to some people and see what we could put together. What's your preference? And his preference was playing more of an even race against higher rated opponents rather than giving weight. And the first person I bumped into was Tommy Dale after I talked to him, and I said, "You want to play him some?" And he wanted to. So, and Josh Thiel in the chat, I had reached out to him about playing 2.0, and I thought that would be a great even match, 665 versus 650. But Josh is saying that 2.0 is asking for weight, which I don't like that. Freeze him out, Josh. Tell him even or take a hike.
Yeah.
He'll do something. He's just playing the old hard to get. But as he runs out of time, you got leverage. And he made a good shot, but he scratched. And this is great for Tommy because every ball has a hole. No combos. Nothing's too funny. It's a pretty good out.
Yep. For one sec, Will, I know you're in the chat. Josh Thiel, I believe, is a dealer of 3-second pool gloves. I know Will reached out to me last week. If you're looking for one, get a hold of Josh. Josh, I believe that's true, isn't it? If you're there listening, let us know. But back to the match here.
So this is not a. He would have liked to have been up table a little bit more, so he could have spun off the left long rail. He's gonna have to just draw this one, and he hit that well. He's a little bit on the wrong side of the 4, but the 5 lays so good, he'll just go forward with some left here. I really don't like going around all these balls with outside, with right.
Traffic,
yeah, there's just too many weird things that could happen. Just go high left and keep yourself a nice angle. Okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yep. Yep. And now you just go high ball here, one rail out, and you don't have to get super close to the 7. You just want a good line on it.
Stroke on that.
Yeah, I would like to have been a little bit closer than this, but...
Here you go, Will in the chat. Josh, just throw his website out there.
The only thing I don't like about this 7 is you might have to put a little inside on it, yeah. And that makes it missable. And those are the little things right there that will dictate this set by the time it's over. You know, that's might be the second game that Tommy really had real control.
Looking good.
Right.
Heading into the last 3 balls.
Right.
And,
right. Yeah, if he comes up another foot towards the 7 on position for it, it's a hanger for him. You know what I mean? Like, he was so far up table, he had to put a little bit of left on it because if he didn't, the cue ball might get away from him and he couldn't hold for the 8.
Right. Looked to me like he jumped up maybe a hair, maybe a little early, didn't stay down on the shot, and it kind of reflected in the ball not going in maybe.
Yeah, so I know it's early and everything, but this is a pretty important spot in the set. You know, you don't want, if you're Tommy, you don't want 2.0 to catch the spot this early, you know? You start off 4-0, and now it's 6-5 if he makes this 9. Like, that's not a good start. But in Tommy's defense, he's done his job. He's just missed like 2 balls that he was the favorite to make. You know, it's not like he's playing bad. It's just a couple small mistakes. But those mistakes 2.0 capitalized on. He didn't get away with them.
Yeah, especially like if 2.0 was to break and run right here, you know, that one ball costed you 2 racks.
Right.
You know, and how many times do you see that happen?
It happens a lot. Yeah,
you know?
it sure does.
It costs 2 racks, 3 racks, you know, you never know.
Guys, if you're enjoying this content, please like and share and send a donation if you can. It's
Look
great.
us up on YouTube too. Make a score tour on YouTube. Subscribe there.
Yeah, we are live on YouTube, and that channel just was created like 2-3 days ago, so it could use some traffic. It's not really established at all yet, but we're trying to get it there.
Yep.
And
look at that break. Wow.
Yeah, he made 2 balls.
Wow. How do you fade that?
And he's got a great opening look. No combos, nothing funny. As long as the 7 passes the 8, which it appears it does, he's just got 4 well laid out balls up table to deal with, and then he's got the final 3 down table all in a pretty comfortable location. So he's got break and run on his mind here for sure, and I really don't see much stopping him. Nick Basquet. Chances are you're not fully Bousquet. I'm sorry, Nick Bousquet. Chances are you're not fully live. So this stream is rewindable. So hit like the live button or drag the timer thing all the way to the right, and it should catch you up. Because I think you are well behind.
Wait, is he gonna hear that if he's well behind?
Yeah. I don't think so. Actually, I think he's probably just sitting at the screen.
The puzzle.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's one of the downfalls of live rewind is people can get caught up,
right,
and then not be live. But
yeah, so I think this 3 plays past the 5. If I'm correct.
Yeah, it sure looks like it. And 3, 5, same side pocket, 7, 8, bottom left. He might even make the 9 in the bottom left too, depending on how he lays. You gotta okay, that's not ideal. I don't know if he can hold.
Try to play the side, I think.
Well, yeah, but it looks like the cube. Oh, the 7 ball on the side?
7 ball on the side, yeah.
Then you got to dance around that. Oh, he was okay.
That's all right, yeah.
It looked more steep than that, right?
Way steeper. I thought he was going up and down.
Yeah, I did too. So, I forgot we got some overhead stuff we can look at tonight too. I got to remember this stuff. We got some more additions here. We got overhead, side by side. We got just overhead.
Yeah, what do you guys like better in the chat?
We got the side by side. Just overhead. We're making moves here, chat. We're
for sure.
We're learning here, and we're trying to bring you all the features we can.
Yep.
If you have any you'd like to see, I'd love to hear your ideas. And 2.0's got a great look here.
Yeah, nice stun. Nice shot, stun the ball over.
Yeah, little jaw.
Yeah, and just like that, I think he might be able to tie it up right here, 6-6.
Yeah. He's taken a lot longer than I thought he would on this ball.
So Will says the camera depends on the shot. It's very dynamic.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, I think overhead's good for like
blockage.
If you don't know if a ball goes like if it has a whole pocket or
past
something.
A head string or something.
Yeah. So 2.0 is eventually going to make this routine 9 ball. He's stretching, so it's not routine.
Yeah, I know he plays with, I think it's a 4-inch extension on his cue, if I'm not mistaken.
I keep going to reach to change the score.
Yeah.
So now the players are controlling the score.
Yeah, it's
which is a new addition here. Which I was always paranoid that we'd have we'd be off, and like they'd be on the hill, but we didn't know, and
they're down 3.
Yeah, and something goofy would happen, and God forbid I take a bathroom break or a smoke break, and then the score's not right. So now the score will always be right, even if I'm not in the booth. So I think that's a great feature. Digital Pool, shout out to them. They have an amazing product. They do a great job. They're passionate about it.
Yeah. No, if they just make an app. I like everything they're doing though. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great product. So 2.0 off to a great start. He's tied up. He's caught the spot and tied it up 6-6, and we have a even race to 10 from here.
I mean, he is just breaking these balls like unhumanly.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's got a good break going for him so far.
And I know Tommy can definitely compete with that break. Tommy has a great break too. He's just got to get beyond the table for the break.
James Wilson says went from 2.0 dial up to 5G. Yeah, he's up there with what's it called? Fiber optic. He's up there with fiber optic speeds right now. Kevin Malley says 2.0 might just win every point from here. Yeah, I'll take that bet too, sir.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wow.
He must be feeling froggy. He's throwing out some
That's
pretty bold offers.
Statement, yeah.
So 2.0 off to the races here. And looks like he's going to play the 3, top right. And he'll probably go back and forth to the left long rail and back out for the 5 in the side to stay above it.
Yeah, he doesn't have to go all the way over. He could just kind of
roll it.
Float. Yeah, center of the table.
Yeah. So
like the float.
The 3 ball becomes a lot more missable when you like roll balls in, like center ball like that.
Yeah.
So you get a lot more skids, and the slow speed for whatever reason tends to hit the 3 ball fat, or whatever your object ball is. When you slow roll a ball, like half a ball, it hits it. It tends to hit it fat.
I miss so many balls doing that.
Yeah.
You just don't. You have to focus on that hit. Fall through everything. But
Nick Bousquet, what happened with Pete Genovese tonight? Thought he was playing. Yeah. So Pete has told me that over the past like 2 months that his back has been bothering him on and off, and then he called me Wednesday night and said, "Hey man, I hate to do it, but my back's just not in good shape." And he has to play Saturday and Sunday at the Lisciotti Cup. He is going to be playing 2.0, match number 11 on Sunday, if it's still going on. And he just said, it's not great timing with his back and stuff. So I said, no problem, brother. Focus on the Lisciotti Cup, and maybe we could do something in the future. And then I told 2.0, hey, I told 2.0, hey, I'll try to find you somebody else. And I saw the clerk at the gas station. I said, hey, you want to play him? He said, no, I don't play pool. But then I saw Tommy Dale. He was the next person I saw, and he snap called. He couldn't wait. He said 2.0. He said, I'm in.
Yeah.
So
nice.
It was pretty quick finding him a game.
Nice bang.
Don't get too close to your work, sir. Oh, he might have a... okay, this is good. Jack up, low left, push it in the side, hold it right there for the 9.
Nice on that too.
Oh, just enough.
Got Pete saying in the chat with Mike's breaking right now, it's 16-10, 16-12 high side.
Yeah. So after Tommy Dale makes that 9, we're gonna see what his break looks like, because everybody, just about everybody, can have a overpowering break with the Magic Rack. It can be just, it can be so powerful at times. It's just amazing. And another thing to note here is they agreed that pattern racking is allowed. So we did say that there's no extremely slow soft breaking. We said medium/controlled or up. And neither one has been soft breaking. They've been doing what they're supposed to do, which is a controlled break, where they're making the wing ball and they're playing position on a starting shot on the 1. So the point to all this is with the pattern rack combined with the template, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. Yeah, if Tommy broke and ran 3 from here, I would not be surprised at all. It can happen quick. You make 3 balls on the break and you got an opening look plus a good pattern rack on top of it.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah.
All right, so the one, wow, is he gonna get a look?
Yeah.
So the 1 hit the point to go down table, and then it got kicked back up, and it appears that actually, this would be a good time for the overhead. Let's try out here. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a toughie. I think he's got it, and if he doesn't, he might just swerve it a hair.
I know we had James Wilson, I believe that was his name, in the chat, asking if these are shim. No, they're standard 4.5-inch.
Tom Dingley asking what the YouTube channel is. It's MakeAScoreTour on YouTube. You will see the icon of the channel. The logo is the same as the top right of the graphic you see right now. It's a very new channel. It's only 2-3 days old, so sometimes new channels, like even when you search them, they just don't come up for a little bit, because there's just like no traffic to it yet or anything. But if you type in youtube.com @MakeAScoreTour, it should bring you directly to the page. You might even be able to get away with not putting the @ You might just do youtube.com /MakeAScoreTour.
Well, Ali said it, giving Tommy credit for taking these matches, but the last few are a little bit above his speed. Good learning experience. I think he can hang with these guys pretty well. I think he's, Tommy's not afraid.
Listen, if he didn't miss those 2 balls,
Yeah,
right? It's 9-4 him,
Yeah.
and the whole conversation we're having is way different.
Right.
People are looking at Fargo too much. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
this game is not what the majority thinks it is, and
It's 9-ball. Anything can,
yeah, and
it's funny.
people sleep on Tommy. I mean, he's a great player.
Right.
You see him. I mean, he doesn't look like he has an ounce of fear in him.
Right.
He missed 2 balls that I'm sure he was not happy about missing, and he doesn't. He look at him. He not nervous or nothing.
Still in it.
Yeah, he's doing his thing.
Yeah.
And if he makes this, it's a break and run.
Oh, all right.
So he's gonna have to clean up those mistakes.
Yeah.
That's the 3rd one that hurt him. I mean,
he's all right. So Mike just tied it up right there, but if that's kind of a big game going up too on, just getting half your spot back.
yeah. It's the psychological.
Sure.
So, but like I was just saying, you don't see it out of Tommy. So,
Mm-hmm.
and let's be real, that 9 was no hanger.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't like, it was a gimme or nothing. That was a very, very missable shot.
How many times does that happen where that shot comes up late in the match, like when you're 2 from the hill, or when you're on the hill and shooting 2 balls before the 9,
Right.
that shot comes up again, and you're like, I won't miss it this time.
And that would have been a break and run.
Right.
And
Right.
and
Put the sting on,
yeah, that's gonna bother him. And 2.0 he's got this break working where that 1 ball is coming around, and he's getting a consistently great look at the top right corner, and
Cue ball's going 1 rail and out.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. So in the break department, I'd have to say that 2.0's got the best of it so far.
Right.
We've only
Not
seen
by a mile, though.
we've only seen 10 racks played, and he's broken. He lost the lag, so he broke 7 of them.
Yeah.
So it can turn around quick on you.
Far from over though.
If that 1 ball starts hitting the point like it did on Tommy or something goofy like that, it swings quick.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, this is not the start Tommy was looking for.
Oh, okay. I like it. Pete's in the chat. What's up, buddy? He says 100% we are playing before he gets back to the rock he crawled out from under. I like that. See?
I don't know when. Does anybody in the chat? I'm sure there's a lot of Yale guys tuning in. Is there anybody in the chat that knows when 2.0's flying out? I believe he's here for at least a week. And he's got his girlfriend with him, too, so he's going to be comfortable. It's not like he's away from his girl.
Nice shot there by Mike. Draws back to get position on the 4. I think he's just going to go 2 rails, or he might just play 1 rail and down and 5 in the side. It's tough to see angles. Yeah, he's just going to 1 rail out. Pretty routine out here. You got this nice slow roll forward for the 5, or for the 7. I'm sorry. He stunned it back. A little funny on this one though. Definitely doesn't want to hit the 9. If he runs to that 9, he's might get himself into trouble.
Tom Dingley, I just put the YouTube link in the chat.
Oh, he hit that good.
I don't know why I don't see it, but oh, there it is. It just popped up.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helps you out.
Yeah, so 2.0 is going to go on here to win another game that I think he broke and ran.
Yeah, I believe that was a break and run.
Break and run.
Which
His break's just too good.
Yeah, and Tommy would have had a break and run. He missed that 9. I mean, that's.
What did I just tell you? What was going to happen?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just called it.
A lot of times that 1 mistake costs you 2.
Yeah, it makes you sick. All right, guys, I'm joined in the booth here by Alex Bausch. How we doing, Alex?
Good, Kenny. So I've been watching a little bit out there. So, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. Uh, Mike's cleared the spot here.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And it's all me and Lance were just talking about this. It's all been, just a few, 2 or 3 unforced errors from Tommy late in the racks. It's 2, 3 balls left, and Tommy, just, doesn't have 100% focus on his shot, and kind of plays it and rolls off or whatever. But I think that's been the difference pretty much.
Gotcha. Yeah, it makes sense. So I haven't been looking at the chat, but James Wilson says 2.0 got a stroke like Shaw, and it's very funny because I was just thinking the same thing, especially because they both always use the big Q.
Yep.
And I feel like their type of stroke, it kind of goes with that Q in a way.
Right.
Like it matches up well with it.
Yep.
So I'd be curious to, because I was going to ask Mike about that, because I feel like he'd probably agree.
So what do you think from what you've seen, Alex?
Um,
What do you think needs to happen or not happen, or?
yeah, I mean, I think so far for Tommy, I think it's probably pretty fair just to say that he hasn't been getting out of a lot of the more straightforward stuff. And that doesn't mean that anything's easy, but when it's different than when something's like a puzzle.
I agree.
It's like, so this is a solid shot. Obviously, he'd have loved to get out here originally, and I think he did leave the piece of it, but he is jacked up. But I was going to say that type of run out, if you paused it at the start, you'd say, well, there's not any outright problems.
Right.
So sometimes you could just attribute stuff to say, and maybe even 2.0 leaving himself a little tough on stuff, but he's making a lot of shots too.
Right. That's an uncharacteristic miss. Tommy's got a big chance right here to run out and tie it up again. There you go. This is the type of situation that I was talking about with you earlier. I need to get out here and establish this game.
Right, that's what I mean. I think most of the stuff that has been causing rack wins and losses was just converting the simple stuff, just kind of the meat and potatoes, which is that's all of pool.
Right.
But we all do it more
Right.
The pros do it better than us.
Sure. Sure.
We do it better than the people who just picked up a cue. There's just a whole, that's all you can do. A lot of the time, it's that simple.
It's like the Encino Man thing. So Tommy ties it up. Got 8 in a race to 16, so we're halfway there.
Yeah, and I think overall, I think a strength is that both of them have been breaking great.
Yeah.
And I think for that reason, there actually hasn't been a ton of safety play.
Right.
I can't think of one jump shot that I've seen. I can't think of
2.0 played a pretty good lockup safe behind a ball.
Oh, he did, on the bottom rail on our screen.
Yeah.
That was a great shot. But if you think about it, how many safety battles were there? Very few.
No.
So that's what I mean in terms of now running out is even at a higher premium, you know? Because right now it's just a bigger percentage of the game compared to if you were playing on 4-inch pockets.
Right.
Where they're moving, most racks.
Correct. Yep. Sean Dixon, YouTube is a thing now. I think Lance put a link up in the chat somewhere. Obviously, he's taking a little break right now, but when he gets back in the booth, I'll mention it to him. So, guys,
I'll put something in the chat. Sorry, go ahead.
Nope. If you're just joining us, we're live at Racks in Vernon, Connecticut. Got a race to 16 with Tommy Dale and Mike Mathieu 2.0. They're playing 9-ball, 1 on the spot, Magic Rack. I think they're playing early 9 and everything, but I don't think they're playing 9 goes last, correct?
I actually don't know. I wasn't here at the start.
So, Alex, what are your predictions here for the Lisciotti Cup?
So I feel like I just saw the rosters like in full for the first time.
Yep.
And I just put the link in the chat for the YouTube stream. So if you were to check out Lance's page, the Make a Score Tour page, and like and subscribe, and awesome. I think you can keep track of all his stuff. But anyway, so for the Lisciotti Cup, I gotta pull up the players and I feel like I might have heard something that the rosters are different, but not stuff I'd repeat necessarily. So I'm not really sure exactly
Correct.
Who's playing.
Right. I think there were a couple little changes.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But
nice hit there on the one ball. He thinned it and would have sold out a shot, but sorry to cut you off. I didn't mean to. What were you saying, Alex?
No, I mean, I think as far as the Lisciotti Cup goes, I think it's a lot of even players.
Yeah.
And almost, it seems simple, but maybe I'd say if someone has an edge, maybe just give it to Lucas, because he's just objectively going to be a stronger player than Bob. Not that Bob can't outplay him or beat him, but I'm just talking percentages.
Correct.
So I feel like that might be the big it might be the big separator, but we've seen favorite quote-unquote teams win and underdog teams win. So
we're all grinders, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice to see them all play every game too, meaning 8, 9, and 10. You know.
Yeah, I love seeing any 8-ball anything. I just like 8-ball.
Yeah, me too. It shows your thinking side and how, you don't have to be the better player to win. A lot of times in 8-ball, you just have to outthink your opponent, move better. So what do you think he does here, Alex?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I think coming 3 reels this way made sense, but I think he's trying to get under the 5, which was tough from that angle.
Right.
But that's more of just a matter of he bumped the 8, which made him fall weird on the 3. The shot he played made a lot of sense.
Just barely overhit it. Looks to me like Tommy just gave off a little sign of frustration by missing that bank. I think he shrugged his shoulder a little bit, but he's still in it, man. It's tied up.
So I'm sure you and Lance already discussed it, but do you feel differently than my assessment of the Lisciotti Cup that's coming up starting tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm pretty spot on with what you said.
It's tough to pick one way or the other, but just pick Lucas because he wins a lot.
Yeah.
Just pick Lucas's team because he tends to win things. Yeah,
he plays every day. Everyone else, I'm pretty sure, has day jobs. It makes a big difference when you play 6 to 8 hours a day. You're constantly in stroke, in action. It makes a big difference when you sit for 3 days and you don't hit a ball because you're stressed out over work.
Sure.
But it should be interesting. It should be a good weekend. If you're in the area, stop down, come down, sweat it. Pockets of 9. 9-8. He's been breaking really good. I mean, watch that 6 ball.
Yeah, I think maybe all but like one of one or maybe two of the breaks that I've seen have been like struck really well.
Yeah.
You know how you want to break with the template. You see the wing ball flies in.
Ball just squatted.
Right, his cue ball was perfect. It was just pure bad luck that he got kissed.
Yeah.
But you know he has a shot at the one.
Tough one, but he's got a shot on the one,
and it can win you the game.
Sure. Yep.
You know, if you make this one right, I mean you've won the game.
Yep.
In theory. And you still got to make the shots, but I'm saying like there's no more problems. That's what I was kind of saying. And he played safe, which is
not horrible.
Yeah, a little conservative, but you know he kind of wanted to hit it thicker to get under the 9.
Yeah, he left Tommy in a tough spot shooting over the 2 also.
Right. Yeah. No, there's some equity there,
sure.
But I think Tommy probably has a shot.
Nice shot. Now, will he be able to see the 2 is the question. He's frozen to the rail, but...
Yeah, you can see it. And this is kind of what I was saying before in terms of... the main overhead. In terms of, you know, we got maybe 1 or 2 safety-related shots there.
Yep.
And we're back to the run-out game, you know.
Right,
I said, you know, who's just running out with open tables.
Yep.
And I will say now, looking at it, I think the 7 is kind of no longer open, at least to our bottom left pocket.
Well, yeah.
So he's got to come around in the 5, which kind of made it a lot tougher.
Way tougher. Yeah, that 9 ball's just barely in the way.
Yeah. So this is now where the rack kind of got hard.
I definitely know Tommy's got the stroke for it.
Right.
He's just got to put it into motion. Hit that pretty good, I think.
Really good, but now the 9's big.
Oh, just a hair hard.
Right.
That's just frustrating right there for Tommy. Yeah, jump it. I just think about jumping it.
Tommy's got some height on him, so I know he can jump this, whereas I might not even be able to. Oh, no, I could jump this because I'm lefty. But if this was my offside, like it is for him, I don't think I could reach this to jump.
Yeah, it's very tough because it's out in the center of the table, and you have to really be, you know, the angle you're shooting the 7 ball. It's and again, it's close to the rail, too, so, you know, if you hit the slightest off, it's going off the table. Wow, how unlucky is that? The second one he barely missed. When 2.0 locked him up behind that 2 ball, I believe it was, he barely missed that one too when he went 3 rails.
Yeah, he had to like Z 3 rails. Yeah, that was
right there. So.
Yeah.
Thank you, James Wilson. Said great stream. Pete said, watch the spreads after the break. Mike tends to have more ball space between each ball. Tommy tends to have them closer to each other. Mike has a more open table after his breaks, yeah, for sure. And Mike is pocketing 1 to 1.5 balls more than Tommy, I think, on his breaks consistently too. You know, watch that 6 ball goes right in the corner every time. 1 ball goes in, 5 ball goes in the right side.
Right. So before he's had the 1 ball going, you know, 2-3 rails around to back where his cue ball is now.
Yep. Cue ball squatting too.
Right. So the 1 ball hit the far point, which is.
It didn't. Yeah. It got a little funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime you hit that far point, it's gonna get funny a lot. That's how it always seems, at least.
I think he might have a shot here. I'm not too sure. If he jumps, stops it though, might be in luck. What do you see here, Alex?
From the overhead, it looks like it's kind of too far to. You'd have to jump and land on it.
Right.
Kinda. Yeah, so I think the safer is, he's gonna push to a real tough thin cut, or maybe some sort of potential like safe with inside, like banking the 1 towards the 8.
Yeah, now if you're Tommy, you have to take this, and you got to you have to make good work of this. You can't really you can't really not. Oh, he's giving it back. So just a minute, guys.
All right, guys, it's Lance. I'm back in the booth, and Alex is with me. How we doing, Alex?
Pretty good. Me and Kenny have really just been talking about how, table has just been breaking good. They've been hitting them firm with the magic rack and, controlling the cue ball for the most part. So we've got some good spreads, and it's kind of like a lot of meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
Stay in line pool.
Yeah. 2.0's been winning in the break department, I'd say, so far. He's getting consistently easier layouts with an opening look at the one. And we've seen him break 10 times compared to Tommy's 4. So we've seen a much larger sample size of 2.0 breaking so far. But what we've seen out of Tommy's has not been horrible, but just not quite as strong as Mike's. And Tommy has probably had about 3 racks where he missed like a 7, 8, or 9 that he was the favorite to make. And that really swings the score big because, if he does get out those 3, it'd be 11-7 Tommy's lead right now,
And then a real short race from there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's just totally just gambling.
Oh,
and
my God.
Yeah, how often do you ever see that happen? I actually broke a rack of... What did I do? Oh, I was playing Kevin Bourne last night. And we're playing on a 7-foot diamond bar box. And I break a rack of, what was it? I think it was 10 ball. And an object ball flew off the table. And I was, it was template, so I wasn't even cranking them. It was so weird. You don't see balls fly off the table too often like that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even think of a time when I did it last.
Yeah.
Not just cue balls, object balls.
Yeah, object ball is different.
Yeah,
right?
Cue balls is basically every time I break or draw.
Or a fluky jump shot where,
Right.
You don't hit it clean. But Tommy's in business here, and he really needs this rack. He's not in the super danger panic mode yet, but he's not far away if he was to give up the next 2-3 racks or something. So, he wants to keep pressure on Mike. That's a big part in pool is not letting your opponent get comfortable and keeping pressure on them. And he felt very good on this 9.
Yeah, this was super clean. So I was telling Kenny, I was watching them both out there, and I just want to pose this to you because I posted to Kenny for a second. So Mike Mathieu uses like the big cue, right?
Yeah, the extension, right?
Yeah, the javelin, as I call it. What other players, do you think there's a trend or a similarity between guys like 2.0, Shaw, SVB, who use the extension in like their stroke at all?
I feel like they all have very long strokes. You don't see. I mean, if you're rolling a ball in 2 feet, they're gonna still use a short stroke. But I feel like they all have slightly longer strokes.
And Paguline.
I feel like they get a lot of. I personally have like a. It's very long. It's like 8 or 9 inch extension for my playing cue, and I've thrown that on just for shits and giggles to see what would happen. And it seems like you get more English out of the cue ball, like more effortlessly. But it is a totally different feel. It's got its pros and cons.
Right. Yeah, I just feel like if I was to maybe find like a weird adjective to describe it, I feel like they all have like very athletic strokes almost.
Yeah.
In the sense that it's like to have Jason stroke the way he has it, and it's kind of a little like punch. Like he doesn't draw back that far. He gets a crazy amount of power per per inch on the bridge.
Pull back and stuff. Yeah,
per
right,
inch
right.
on pullback.
Right. Which I think a lot is the cue. like I was saying, you get more effortless English out of that longer cue.
Right. If you're gonna stroke like that, I feel like that cue is the one that's gonna gel with you the best.
I kind of have a punchy stroke. Maybe that's what I've been missing this whole time.
You just need to make your cue 8 feet long.
Yeah. So I have
because that's triple the power.
I have a 30-inch. I have a 30-inch shaft, so I only have an extra inch. But imagine what I could do with an extra 8.
Right.
Oh, forget
You'd
it.
be 8 times as good.
I'd be 8 times as good.
You'd be 630, 8x.
Yeah.
Or no, you're like 680.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to do that. I think we just figured it out.
We solved it.
Lucas got the 7. If I get to use the extension, he's got the 7.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, I was looking at Tommy's stroke too, and I feel like in the time I've kind of known Tommy, I feel like a couple years now. I feel like pre-COVID.
Yeah.
I feel like I just met him. But either way, I feel like in that time, his speed's gotten a lot better, but his stroke has, I feel like, smoothed out a lot.
Yeah, I agree. He's got a nice stroke to him.
Right. Whereas I feel like it wasn't like that even a year ago.
Yeah.
Like he looks really good at the table. He's riding out a lot, so it makes sense. Sorry, go ahead.
2.0 told me a couple days ago that he's been working on his mechanics the past year, and that he's very happy with them. And he used to have quite a bit of movement to him, and it looks like he's cleaned some of that up, and he's playing pretty good.
Yeah, I know he works really hard at his game, and I usually don't see him around anymore, but
and he's
it's
working.
Always good to talk to him.
He's working. That was a great shot, and he's working now too. So, as well as anyone, carrying a full-time job and playing top-notch pool is very difficult. Typically once you see 700 plus speed, you very rarely see guys that can play that speed and carry a full-time job. There's not many of them. They're out there, but there's not many of them. But you're one of them, Alex.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want the Fargo list of guys who hold the full-time job.
Yeah, you would definitely be right up there on the top. If you played full-time, Lucas would get the 6 all day. It wouldn't even be close.
I don't know if we'll ever see that, so
yeah.
Of course I would.
Yeah, maybe even the 5.
I'll guarantee it.
Yeah, right. From the booth, and since it'll never happen, the 5.
I don't even have to pay out.
Yeah, the 5 all day. But all right, so Tommy.
Andy's not in the room to defend himself.
Right. Yeah, he was here. Is he still here? I saw him here earlier, but I don't know if he's still around. I don't know. He might have found himself a game in the corner somewhere. Now this is important here. Tommy trails by 1. He's got a tough shot here, but he makes it, and now he's going to have the reward. And this should tie it up 10-10 with him breaking, and this could get juicy here.
Yeah, as I was jabbering away about their cues and their strokes, I feel like Tommy's just been straight getting out from here. It's a really strong shot.
Yeah, he's got a very strong stroke.
That's what I mean. It's it's gone from less like power, and that was smooth.
It was fluent. It wasn't punchy. It was a nice clean follow through, and he struck that ball very well.
I haven't figured out who I'm thinking of when I'm watching Tommy Dale, but I'm going to.
Oh, like who he mimics
who he
or whatever. Yeah.
And it might not be the guy that he knows he emulates, but just the guy that he reminds me.
Yeah.
I just haven't put my finger on it yet.
If
there's some Chinese Taipei guy from 30 years ago that I'm thinking of, probably.
If you could just magically wave a magic wand and play like a certain pro, like mechanics-wise, who would you pick?
Is this a stylistic choice or a choice about who I would succeed most as?
More style. Like
style, like artistic choice.
Yeah, right. What you think just looks like pure just greatness.
I think Federer just represents such textbook.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's... And you could argue who's the best player or whatever, but I just really respect and admire.
Yeah.
How strong it is because it didn't get there by accident.
Yeah, like you said, it's so textbook, and it's just
he's like a
so
test
clean.
Tube, he was like built in a lab.
Yeah. Of like right.
If you're gonna have a perfect,
Yeah, I think that's like the perfect answer, man. I agree with you. I personally think as an alternative to Fedor would be Feder would be. I really like how Alex Pagulayan had his stroke and stuff, and I think Jeremy Sosi, not just because he's a local guy, he's just got like such great mechanics. And but back to the action here because it's 10-10, even race of 6 for the cash.
Right, he just played a great shot on the 2, and if he can get a little roll, which he did on this 5.
Yeah, looks like you're just roll it in.
Yeah, Tommy's the past few racks. I mean, he hasn't been missing a whole lot. Because you were saying before how he was just kind of like, or Kenny was saying how he was kind of let a couple get away late, 7, 8, 9.
Right.
And the past few, he's been closing.
So this is the key shot here. He's going to use some low right, and he's going to draw out to the right long rail and back out for the 7 in the bottom left. And he overcooked that one. So if you hit that softer, the English grabs more, it bites more, and there's a lot of variables there with shot and spin. I'm sorry, speed and spin. But I think he overcooked that one a little bit. And he was trying to spear that one in and just ride that momentum. And, every time Tommy misses, he's just giving up, like, ball-in-hand situations. This is a simple shot on the 7 with a line to the 8, either in the corner or the side, or you can pick. It's just 2.0's been getting the best of this part of the game. And it looks like he's going to take a quick player break, and we will be back with you guys shortly. Alright guys, so we're back in action here, and let me clear this chat there we go. And 2.0 looks like he's playing shape for the 8 on the side. Looks like he fell good on it. He might come out for the 9 in the bottom left corner. Looks like it's thin enough where you cut it in and come back to the right long rail. Oh no, he had enough to just, okay. That's more ideal, less work. He knows he can't get stuck on a rail playing it that way. If you cross over for the 9 in the bottom left, you can end up frozen on the rail straight in, and you miss those sometimes. But he gets out there and he takes an 11-10 lead. And we got a 6-5 race here for the cash.
just hit him with, a little something. He really just took it to him for a few racks in a row. And I was telling you right after we went off air, I mean, that's just like the perfect break time. If you go back and review the whole match, that's the one time that 2.0 should have taken a break, and he did.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty strong from a match play perspective because, and I learned this from a guy who's here tonight, Mike DeMarco, just listening to him on stream because he dropped some knowledge, and he talked about how important it is to use your break. It came out really good. But he talks about how important it is to use your break, especially in an easy rack. 2.0 had ball in hand position with 3 balls left, and was kind of slowing down Tommy from what he just kind of hit him with.
Yeah,
he made him sit for 2 minutes.
I totally agree. Tommy had started to get momentum in his favor and made a mistake, and 2.0 said, I'm going to take a break and let you sit in the seat and think about it for 5 minutes, and kind of put him on ice and try to change the momentum back into his favor, knowing he's coming back to the table with a very simple shot on the 7 with option,
out 90-something
right,
yeah.
to now take the lead 11-10, and he might have. I think he got him with the edge there. It's close though. Let's see here.
Yeah, I think this is mini jump.
Yeah.
One that he could almost take with this full cue.
Yeah, maybe even his playing. You mean his playing cue? Or break cue?
Sorry, yeah. Well, either one, really.
Yeah.
I think you want that for the control here. I think.
Right.
You won't see him break down his jump cue for this.
Right.
See, this is the long jump cue, so he's gonna get a real nice stroke on this.
Yeah, this is gonna be close. Yeah, it was close. And let's see what he came out with. So once again, every time he misses a ball, he is just not getting away with anything. And that happens, that's a part of the game. And this is not ideal. He overrolled this.
Yeah, he's been just coming with a lot of these shots, though.
So what do you think? A little high right, try to get to the right side of the 7 for it in the bottom left? Do you think that lays right, or the cue ball's going to go too much to the top left corner?
No, I think you're going to stay above the 9 and 7 to cut the 7 in.
Oh, yeah.
To our bottom right all
yeah,
the time.
Just come out to center table.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if he's stunning this to the left rail and back, or if he's following to the end rail and back.
Or low. He's not going to do it, but even potentially low left to pull out to the left long rail and back out. Right. Oh, I don't like that. I just don't like the trusting that speed.
Yeah.
And he's not happy about that. So yeah, he had maybe 3 to 4 different options of how he could have played that ball, and
yeah, because really what it is the corner and side pockets looming with the tangent line there.
Yeah.
So you either need to draw in and out, follow in and out.
Yeah.
And he tried to take kind of the cute third option.
Yeah. In between.
The tweener option where he's just going to float and have a perfect stroke with 0 miles per hour, which is just tough to do.
Right.
And trust me, I miss those every single day because every time you take them, it feels like, why did I even try that?
Yeah. And I always
miss those. Why did I even try it?
And that's a mistake there. But yeah, I mentioned it earlier. When you slow roll balls, you have a tendency of hitting them fat. I don't know why, but it's a thing for sure. And
it's the cut-induced throw.
And he hit that one fat. It went high,
right.
And I've learned over the years to compensate for it, which is you just play to overcut a hair. You just play a little bit more overcut. But let's see, this is gonna fall. He might get straight in the corner. Not straight in. These are definitely missable, especially when your nerves are a little hot here late in the set. But he's the favorite to make it. But it's no gimme. Yeah, he missed it. That's nerves there. I mean, it wasn't a hanger. Well, I mean, see, he's still. Tommy missed the ball, and Mike's got a pretty good look at it. He didn't have to have a look this good. I mean, it's missable. It's a cut in the side, and he's only got about half the pocket, but you don't mind stepping up and shooting it, that's for sure. And he had a good.
Right, when your opponent leaves you that, this is a Danny DiLiberto-ism. He's like, when your opponent leaves you that shot, it looks real good. He's like, but if you landed there for position, you're gonna be kicking yourself. something.
Yeah,
it's
I totally agree.
That's like something Danny has said, give or take 10 words.
Yeah, no, that's I truly believe he's right too. It's pool is a lot of expectations, like you're saying with Danny's comment. If your opponent leaves it to you, it looks great because you probably figured he was going to run out and you weren't even going to shoot. And if you leave yourself it, you're kind of let down because you kind of fell on the 50. You either fell short or long or whatever. And yeah, I think that is a good saying out of Danny Diliberto.
It's got a lot of good isms.
Yeah. Yeah, I was lucky enough to commentate a match at Turning Stone with him, and that was a good time. I was with, I think it was Jason Shaw and Dennis Hatcher playing, so it was a great match and great to commentate with him, So 2.0 missed the one, and looks like he's going to give up a jump shot.
Yeah, 2.0 has just had a couple of those breaks that he's cut on the left side of the one, and it's causing the one to hit the point.
Yeah,
he's hitting a good speed, a good cue ball, but it's just slightly off center, and it's messing up where the one's going.
Yeah, and Tommy had done it earlier too, where the one had hit the point and then was headed in a terrible area, but then a ball kicked it back up table, and he had a good shot in the side. Now he missed it, and like the common theme has been he missed it, and 2.0's got a great look. Yeah. I mean, this weighs on you, because you start thinking like, geez, I just can't get away with anything, and 2.0 is just gonna
He's been cleaning them up.
Yeah, he's been making Tommy pay for the mistakes, and he's getting looser and more comfortable, and it's not a good recipe here if you're Tommy. Now this could get funny. Oh, see, he had it good enough now. He can comfortably bridge it. I mean, it's not ideal, but you can literally just play a stop shot here and take your back cut on the 8. What do you think, Alex? Do you draw back for the 8, or do you just take your medicine?
I feel like if he's totally good bridging, Mario, he is, yeah, I could see it, Phil. Can he follow this 2 rails? Yeah, he's trying to cheat it. Couldn't you have followed that 2 rails, left side rail, top rail, and kind of come out straightish?
Yeah.
It's like you can follow for literally 9 feet and you'll never be bad.
Right. And it's still, even though with a big stroke like that, it still feels pretty comfortable pocketing the ball.
Right.
Now, Tommy...
I think both shots were difficult from the pocketing perspective.
So Tommy basically tried a shorter version of that shot,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And he hit the point and got stuck up table. And this is quite the tester here.
Yeah, big time with the other pocket looming.
Yeah, and you got to get a look on the 9.
Right.
Let's see. I don't know if he's going to get away with it. It's bouncing. Yeah, so... Yeah, it's tough. This is tough. If you're Tommy, it's tough. And it's got to be discouraging, But 2.0 felt real good on this 9. Corky asking if the games are up. Yeah, the games are up. So it's scoreboard-wise, race of 16 from here. So let's do the math here. Tommy needs 6, and he has to hold Mike to 2 to win. So 6-2, 3-to-1 ratio. It's still within the, it's still possible. We've all been in tougher situations than that and came back for the cash. So it's not over.
Yeah, I think both of these guys are capable of kind of not letting the other guy get another look the rest of the set. So
right.
we're way deep in that,
right.
at this point with how good these guys shoot.
Right. So now I expect Mike to play the carom on the 4 here, and the 1's going to be wild. It'd be ideal to bank it up to the top for shape for the top left corner next. Yeah, that looks like it lays pretty good. Yeah, it sure does. And it looks like he's going to have a shot at that top left. Yeah, sure does. Now, shape on the 2 is tricky. I like what he's looking at there, going 3 rails underneath the 2 for it in the top left, or maybe 2 rails, or 3 rails that way.
Goes in the side and the corner.
Yeah, yeah. But now getting from the 2 to the 3 is tricky. He could try to use like high left and go into the 8 and go through it, but it's tricky. Yeah, drawing might be better depending on the angle. Yeah, that was great. He pinched that back, nice, avoided the 8. Yeah, he's in business here. Oh, that was an unexpected miss. Now let's see if he gets away with it. And no, he gave up a look. Now, but this isn't like ball in hand look. This is like high right.
I don't think Tommy is upset about it.
Oh no,
I think
not
he's very happy to be at the table.
Oh, of course,
yeah.
of course.
Like
but anytime you got to put, inside English on a ball into the side pocket, it's. I'll just say this: it's tougher than the looks 2.0 has been getting when Tommy's been missing. That's for sure.
Sure.
But yes, he has got to be very excited to have this look here, because if I was him in the chair, I'd be thinking it was going to be 14 to 10. And he really cannot afford to give up any more racks. Now, he might be taking a strategic player break here. We're going to check on that real quick and be right back with you. All right, guys, we're back here, and Tommy made the 5-ball, I believe it was, and he's looking to get out here, and he fell good on this 8-ball. And this is a pivotal point in the set here. He really cannot afford to bleed too many racks away here. He's got to put pressure on his opponent, and this is the time to do it. You know, he gets out here, 13-11, breaks and runs, 13-12. You know, and he's right back in it. Then you got a 4-3 race for the cash. I mean, anything could happen.
Yeah, I feel like from here, it's like the first step is like get to like 14 all.
Yeah,
If you get to 14 all, then it's like obviously. I mean, any of these races, you know, anyone could win. But as far as like mentally, getting back to 13-13 is tough to win. You know, 3+ games in a row. But it's like, all right, if you lose one of the next 3, just get the next 2 back. You know.
Right. Phil Davis chiming in the chat here. Anything can happen. I was up 8-0 against Lucas, and before you know it, he quit, so I didn't win 9-0. Shocker. He's down here tonight somewhere, or he was at least. I'm sure he's...
I've never heard of Lucas beating Phil. I feel like I've only seen Phil run Lucas over.
Yeah, Phil just got the best of him at the MakeaScoreTour tournament at Yale's last Saturday. He knocked him out, I believe. And then Phil played a intelligent shot. I think it was like 5-4 race to 6 or 4-3 race to 5. It was like right at the end. Phil was on the hill, and he made the shot and got out. And Lucas was saying it was the wrong shot, and Phil politely was explaining why he felt it was the correct shot, and Lucas wasn't having it. He was like, "Nah, man, you're a sucker. That was not the right shot." So Phil set it up and perfectly executed it again, and Lucas still argued to death, and it was quite funny. But they're good friends. It was all in good fun, you know. But Tommy with a miss there, and he finally got away with something a little bit. Now this looks like it might leak out. Oh no, it got behind the 3. Huh. Looked like he was going to hit the 3, and that would have made a big difference, but the 2-ball was still kind of messed up. Look at this. Is it going to clear the 5? No. So this is a tough spot.
Yeah, not a ton of cover with where the 1 is. This is, I feel like you need some speed on this just to try and get lucky somehow, right?
Yeah.
Where's the intelligent, safe?
Yeah. And look,
he got something like this.
And he got distance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even if 2.0 was make this severe back cut, it's tough to break open that 2-7. So
yeah, he's going to bank it straight up and down.
That was definitely a wise decision there. And he got full coverage behind the 6, which Tommy jumps pretty good. But the problem with this jump is there's no reward. You know, I might kick, if I could kick rail first at the right long rail before the 1, I would probably pick that path even if I demasse.
I agree.
I just don't see...
He doesn't have that, but yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's tough to...
Well, he came out all right. If that keeps rolling, especially.
But yeah, it's tough to make it and get any reward.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he was not jumping... I'm sorry, maybe he was jumping with and not intending to make the ball. Maybe he was just trying to bank it out, and we don't know, you know. I think that would be wise of him to not go in on trying to make it. But so he got away with one there, and Tommy, he could try slow kicking this with spin and wedging him on the 6. I don't see why not, because the 2's locked up. So he played distance, and he hit that kind of firm where it might bounced up. I think you either pick slow roll kicking that one and trying to freeze him on the 6, or you just kick that 1 to the bottom rail. He kind of... he's in trouble here.
Yeah, 2.0's keeping the screws on.
Yeah, he's doing his job there, yeah.
And really one of the first big safety racks we've seen.
Yeah, it's been... Yeah, we haven't seen much safety play.
Checking if it's frozen.
Yeah, and yeah, it's really close too, because okay, so it appears to be frozen, which takes the slow kick away. I mean, you could still slow kick at it, but it's dangerous. And he's going to give a ball in hand there. And you know, 2.0 makes the 1 in the bottom left, and then he shoots a stop shot on the 2 in the top left, and then he's got a straight-in shot on the 3 to shoot like the 3-5 in the same bottom right corner. He's in business here. Yeah, he's okay. Now, he'd like to be a little bit below the 3, or straight in at worst. He doesn't want to be just a hair above it, because, I mean, then he could just fall below the 5 with the side or the corner, but I think with how the 2 laid, yeah, so he's kind of got that going downward angle a little bit, it appears. But he's got options.
Yeah, if it's really bad, he can stun for the side.
Yeah. It looks like he wanted to put low right on it, and, you know,
like a lot of movement.
Yeah, I agree.
When you could just, like, roll a ball forward of where the 3 is.
Right. And the 6 lays pretty darn good. Yeah, so he did, but he underhit it by quite a bit. Because, you know, the angle's going down table, so you have to put a lot of low right on that ball to compensate for the cue ball diving down. You need a lot of spin to bring it back up. And he underhit it, but he still got a pretty good look. And he hit that ball very well. Hit that ball very well, yeah. Now he's got a nice 2-railer out of the right corner, and you stay on the right side of the 9. And that's what he's looking at now. He's kind of, I don't know, I think he's, I don't know why he would want to stay on the left side of the 9. I mean, I know why, because then he can use the bottom rail for the 9 on the side, but I don't think it's worth flirting. What do you like, Alex?
Yeah, I just come out to open space.
Yeah.
There's no percentage point difference in coming on this side.
Like, if he hits that 9 there and ends up behind it, he's kicking himself. Where if you just choose the 2-railer and staying on the right side of the 9, it's impossible to hook yourself.
Right? You can never be bad.
I agree.
Even if you're dead straight in.
But he got away with it.
That's just like I guarantee you, whatever the amount of time he gets behind the 9 there, or gets under the 5 to where he can't cut it.
Yeah.
I don't know what the percentage is.
It's
Even say it's 1.
Yeah.
What percentage difference are we talking if just going on the right side?
Yeah.
There's no way it's worse.
Worst case scenario, if he stays on the right side of the 9, he's dead straight in on the 7, and you just draw back.
Right. And he's still going to hit that 9 out of 10 times.
Right, and that's your worst case scenario. So,
which only comes up 20% of the time that you play that rails.
If he shoots both of those shots, one he shoots it 100 times and stays on the left side of the 9, and then he shoots it 100 and stays on the right side of the 9, I think you're looking at, you know, about a 98% run out rate on the right side of the 9, and you're probably looking at like a 94% run out on the left side of the 9. But that adds up at the end of the day, you know. I mean, those little things are big. That's all these guys can break and run a rack, can break and run 3 racks. So you wonder, like, what separates them from pros? And it's what we just talked about. It's playing the percentages, and obviously the pros execute more consistently, and they have more shots in their arsenal, of course. But
most of the time, it's a lot of meat and potatoes.
Yeah,
just
right.
Getting out stuff.
And it's they're just consistently making the right decision, which is making their life so much easier. And he might have given up maybe a shot or just a piece. If he gave up a shot, Tommy can look to cut this in and have the cue ball. It's going to be coming in hot, so it's going to be going towards that 7 with some speed. But he could probably end up with a good look on the 3 if he makes it. Oh, so he looks like he probably put a little bit of inside on that.
Yeah, really strong shot.
Yeah, and he hit that super well, and he's got a little steeper than he would have liked, but he's got a nice little angle here for some low left. Use the rail and hold for the 4 in the top left. Oh, okay, so he got away with it at least. He didn't leave it hanging.
Yeah, nice little roll there. And like I said before, if you look before he shot that shot, everything's in the open.
Right.
It's a lot of amateur pool. It's, you know, it's not that the guy out jumped the other guy or that they had perfect or imperfect saves. A lot of times, just getting out when you're supposed to get out.
Yeah, it's
who 5 to 6 balls on the table.
Right. It's who gave up less racks.
Right.
And tonight, Tommy has given up more racks, and the score reflects that. This could easily be 14-11 the other way right now. I mean, super easy.
I think you want someone to watch.
I mean, it looks pretty routine, but let me pop the door open and see. Hold on.
Lance was watching a quick hit. Looks like Tommy ended up missing. Probably again trying to avoid All right, yeah, so we had, two difficult shots taken on by both that they had to take, and now how it ends up is 2.0 hits him with an amazing safety shot. Yeah, so Pete reading my mind on the overhead here, and you see kind of the first question of the 5'9" is not dead. Wow, that's a great shot.
What a great shot. Lance stepped out, so this is Kenny Hoke. I'm stepping in with Alex. That was a great hit by Tommy.
Really strong shot. Yeah, so the rack is still going to be tightly contested. Mike has a very similar bank to what he just shot and missed at, but he plays a strong safety.
He's using the cluster for try to hide behind. Just smart.
Yeah, so as we enter kind of the last quadrant of the match, when you left, I was saying I haven't seen like a real safety battle yet.
Yep.
And I feel like the past 2 or 3 racks, that's what we've been watching.
Wow, what a great shot.
And breaks it out.
Oh, almost.
Yeah, and I'm speaking up a little bit because Joe says I'm a little quiet, so I'm going to try and project a little more.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, our first real moving rack so far, and it's been entertaining. I mean, there's been some really solid safes and kicks played by each, so I've been enjoying that too.
Yeah, it's definitely been a good back and forth match so far.
Right, and we're kind of right back to not with the 5 here. It's really not simple, but just trying to get out with 5 balls left.
Yeah. Yep.
So much amateur pool can just come down to who's getting out with less than 6 balls on the table.
Right. One little bump could either solve everything or put everything in a tailspin.
Right.
Doesn't leave 2.0 a hanger by any means, but he leaves him a shot, which he's very capable of making.
So a little funny here.
He got, a little close to his work, but I think he's okay. Thing is, he's got to kind of follow it, but even if he doesn't get above it, he's okay.
Yeah, he has the benefit of this being the money ball, really.
Alright, hit it clean.
Because he's never missing these two to get on the hill.
Yep. Mike definitely looks like he's been putting in the work and playing. He looks to be in stroke. I mean, I don't think he stepped foot off the plane yesterday. He was in the game, It's good to see. I like stuff like that, though.
Yeah, he's always playing a lot, so it's good to watch. And I know Tommy's been playing a lot, too.
Yep.
And it shows for sure.
Yep.
I've definitely enjoyed seeing them both match up. I like
Sure.
to see any guys that are dedicated like these two.
Absolutely, yep. And I think they like playing, too, because they find out what they need to work on. Whether it's the mental game or their stroke or ball pocketing, there's, never-ending stuff that you can always work on when you're playing. once again, Mike with a unstoppable break.
Yeah, he kind of lost it for a bit. He was cutting the one too much, and he's just come back to hitting it real central.
Yep.
And you see how good it's coming out now.
Yeah, I mean, his cue ball is not moving. I mean, barely any after contact, which is pretty good for, a little less movement with the cue ball, the better. Oh, Alex, he might run the set out from here. But
yeah, I mean, this and the 3-ball coming up is going to be the real, testers of the rack.
Yeah, nice stop shot there.
He's just going to kind of take his medicine. Not that it's hard, but it's, it's long. It's,
sure.
It's a 7-foot shot.
Slightly angled too,
Right. So it's a 7-foot shot. He's got to stroke it well, and if he does.
Oh, hit a little fat.
Yeah.
Left Tommy a big chance here to pull within 3. I think both players are using at least a 6-inch extension on the back of their cues, if I'm not mistaken. I know for sure Tommy is. I think Mike is too.
Does Tommy have an extension, or does he just have a long cue?
You know what? Now I'm looking at it. I think that might be. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a long cue.
It's got points in the back end, so it made me look like it. I thought it might have been an extension. I could be wrong though. Nice stroke on that. Nice out by Tommy there. So he says it's not over yet. Yeah, 2.0 was on the finish line. Just couldn't close it out. Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys. Lance just, he's on his way to Florida. Took the post money and left. I'll be back in a week. Tommy to break.
Strong hit, has an open shot on the 1.
Cue ball in the center of the tables, nothing around it.
Yeah. This kind of stroke shot that I think, Phil Davis mentioned how Tommy has progressed. And I was speaking about that earlier, and I feel like this is one of the shots where I think with what his current mechanics are, I think it lends itself a lot.
Yeah.
To hitting these kind of shots. I can't tell you what it is. I don't know. It's kind of like, it's just the look of it. I feel like he hits this shot a lot better.
Yeah, he hit that well.
It's really smooth.
Yep.
And even this, he could play a similar shot, or if he can come really tight.
Tight into the corner.
Tight into the corner. I'm not sure what lays best, but I think, again, I think he's been hitting these shots really, really good. Both in the set and in general.
He's going to miss that 8. Oh, see the rattle.
I got him.
The rattle. Yeah.
I got him. Commentator's curse.
Pretty much got where he wanted, though, with the 5. And he didn't.
Yeah, he was trying to super stun off the right rail back above the 5, but just kind of caught it real thick.
Right.
2.0 goes back to the safety well. Comes out really good.
Yeah.
I think at the start of the set, when I'd see one or two safeties at a time, I think 2.0 missed maybe a couple.
Maybe a two-way shot or something.
Right. Whereas I feel like in the past 10 plus racks, I feel like I haven't seen one leak out. I've seen a lot of stuff where Tommy's in jail and he's kicking out most of the time.
He's not far from any hit. Almost every hit's been, pretty spot on.
Right. He's made a few really strong ones.
Yep. And like I said, he didn't miss by much on two that I can remember pretty well that he was locked up on.
Yeah.
So he's not, just that little adjustment, whether it's English or speed or, it can make a difference.
Yeah, because like I said before, while it hasn't been a huge part of the culture of the set as far as safety play and stuff, I do think if you look at the last half of the match, 2.0 has had a lot more success in that department.
Yeah.
Because we've seen some real nice ones, like tucked under balls, frozen up to stuff.
And I'd have to say he also, during this set, he had the slight advantage with the breaks too. He was just almighty with the breaks. Tommy wasn't breaking bad, but there's just a few that that he didn't make a ball, or that no position, that changes the advantage.
So Mike tried to spin out above the 8 with this. Then he was on to the 7, which if we go back and look around the maybe 4th or 5th rack of the match or something, he had a similar shot, but off the rail.
Yep.
And he chose not to come out above it.
Yeah, and he missed the ball, right?
Right, and he missed the ball. So you see almost, and I wonder if Dave, who's with him, said something, because he was saying something to me about how he should have done the other shot.
Is he playing safe here?
No, he's kind of at it.
What a shot.
Really nice shot.
Tommy's not done yet.
Yeah, but it's funny because I feel like the way that each shot was played should have been reversed.
Yeah.
So I'd be curious if he went back and looked, or if Dave went back and looked, if they'd agree.
So that brings Tommy within 2 of a tie and 3 to win. So he's right there too. Just needs a good break with a shot here, and then he'll deal with what comes next.
Yeah, last break he hit it pretty solid. The one hit that far point, which of course they're probably trying to avoid, but same thing.
Yeah.
And it's just coming out funny.
Yeah.
More often than not.
Yeah, and that 2-ball.
Maybe it works, but that looks like a tough cut combined with a small position zone on the other side.
You're right.
Yeah.
If he could play a pretty decent safety right here, where he draws under the 2 and 3 rails, the 1 ball over the 2, which he kind of did. Well, tried to do.
Yeah, it looks like he at least got most of the ball with the 8 for sure.
Yeah. That 1 ball might be frozen. I think Mike's taking a quick little break right here.
Stick with us. I'm sure it can't be long. I think they just took a break not too long ago.
Correct. All right, so we're back, guys. Quick player break. I think that was after the break, or that was a dry break, or what was that? I don't remember. Anyways, Tommy. Is he gonna leave the lane?
Oh, Tommy played that stop shot safe behind the 8, but the 1 hit another ball.
Yes,
so that was 2.0's response.
Yep.
And, Mike was trying to hit our left side of that 1 ball to try and kind of bank it back up into a cluster, but kind of hit the wrong side.
It didn't work. Yeah. So Tommy with ball in hand here to try to close within 1. I mean, that 2 ball is pretty ugly where it stands. It's tough to tell if it goes in the side or if it has to go all the way up or down.
Yeah, I think it has to go up and down for sure. So Tommy played a much riskier position play.
It could go in the side.
Maybe. I could never tell.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, he hit that well. Nice shot.
Hit it really good and really got rewarded for it. But like I said, he played the aggressive cue ball because that was kind of like the easier shot if he felt good, as opposed to flirting with the point.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked out. Cue ball risk, despite the cue ball risk, I mean, it worked out.
Yeah, this is where Tommy needs to stay focused.
This is a tough shot.
Yeah, this is not. And he missed. This could be it. Oh wow. Wow, he hung it. Tommy's gonna be licking his chops over that.
Yeah, he's got a lifeline for sure.
Yeah, he sure does. Yeah. Now he's in the driver's seat to get to 14. Nice shot. Could have been disastrous if he hit that 8, but got around it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, getting real tight. I mean, this rack, and you've clearly seen the pressure. I mean, as we get later, it happens to everyone.
Sure, yeah.
And, you know how tight this is between 2 really closely contested players.
Yep. Yeah, again, Mike he didn't really make any mistakes. He just overcut the ball, rattled it, and that's been happening the whole match.
Well, yeah, no, but I mean, I'd say that's a really big mistake. I mean, I think both players kind of let up on the ball, which happens to the best of us. I can show you a million videos of me doing it for sure. But yeah, I mean, sometimes that's what happens, and that's been a lot of how the set's been back and forth a little bit with, is just getting out of the open stuff. Even though, like we said, we think that in the break and the safety play, 2.0 has had a big advantage. So
I agree. Yep. Yeah, his cue ball just stopped right where it squatted. Perfect. With a shot and a 1.
So he might have to hit the gap here between the 6 and 7.
Yep.
Or actually, I mean, maybe even clearing the 7, like in between the 7 and 4. So I'm saying go 2 rails up the top left.
Yep.
Because even if you're on this side, like the camera side of the 2 for the side, let's try to hit the gap.
Uh-oh.
You hit it?
You hit it good, yep. He's on the right side also.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter which side you're on this ball. You can just shoot it either in the side or the corner, depending on which direction you're going. And now, again, we got something wide open.
Yep.
It's just a matter of you got to really respect the 6 here. Because it is, it's open, but
Right.
you can get funny on it on either side. So the 4 to the 6 is pretty huge. I guess he landed really good to probably stun around.
Yeah, that's a nice stroke.
No, well, this is what I mean. Like, this is...
This is almost natural.
It's almost natural, but then you're going to be on a certain side of the 7, too. Because
Right.
you can roll this in, but now you're on either on the rail.
Right.
All right, so now maybe you can draw back. But you see what I mean in terms of his ball
I think he's going to go top and back, one round back to right where around where he is right now.
Yeah, but if he was a ball thinner,
yeah,
you might argue he's like kind of a little in trouble cue ball wise.
Right, he's drawn.
Yeah.
Okay, so he left a little tougher of a shot. He didn't flirt with the scratch. Folks, we might see a hill thriller.
He broke great, and he came with a couple really high quality like spin shots.
Yeah, and I said it. I think Lance was in the booth with me earlier when I said that one mistake will cost you 2 games. It happened earlier when Tommy made a. I jinxed him.
You got him.
I got him. So, but if he ran that out, then it would have costed Mike 2.0. 2 games off of a rattled. Overcut.
Yeah. So, Kenny, if you're pocketing this for the money,
yep.
How are you hitting this ball the way that they lay? Dead center?
No, I'm putting left on it. I'm gonna spin it in rail first and spin it in and hope to hit the point, the side pocket point, or that like that. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So there you go. You have it. Mike Mathieu pulls out the win and wins 16-14.
We're going to hop off just for a second. They're going to figure out, I think Lance is figuring out if they're going to play another set. So definitely stick around, and we'll be back to update you guys in just a minute or two, just in terms of an update.
Yeah, I think if they don't play another set, then I think we're going to have a little surprise.
Unmuted? Are we good?
Yeah, we're unmuted. So, guys, we got 2.0 in the booth. Congratulations winning that there, 2.0.
Thanks. A little sweaty there at the end, huh?
Yeah, that got dicey real quick at the end there.
Yeah, I when I made up the spot, I think when I went up like 10-8, I got kind of lazy. Like I went on my phone a few times. I like started making jokes to like Dave sitting over there. I got a little careless, and then I went up 15-11, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna win. I don't care, and then. I don't know, missed 3 games in a row, let him get back in, and then he almost tortured me for it. But
yeah, how do you think you played?
Me? When I wanted to play well, I think I played decent. And I just got to stay focused until the end. That's all.
How do you think Tommy played? I mean, he had that set could have went a little bit different. He had a couple racks where he was a strong favorite to get out, and he didn't. What do you think about that?
I don't know. He missed balls that I didn't think he were gonna miss. Yeah, I don't know. He just needs to take his time a little bit more in those situations. That's all.
Yeah. If there's anybody in the chat that wants to make a game with Mike, now's the time to speak up. Mike, how long are you here for?
I am here until next Sunday. So you guys see how bad I play. So let's make something.
Yeah, Josh Steele was in the chat. He's a potential guy. Maybe Sean Dixon, maybe Frank.
Oh, you got to bet more, buddy.
Bo Powers talking about potentially matching up at Yale. Ideally, it would be nice to match up here, but
Can someone explain to me what a best of 2 is?
1K best of 2 sets.
That's
a race to 1 set. That's just 1 set. Maybe my best of 3.
Bo, you got to bet more, buddy, for me to play you.
That'd be a juicy game. But Yeah, so we're done for tonight, guys. One set and done. And thank you all for tuning in. Mike, thank you for coming and playing an action match here.
Thanks for setting up the match, man. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, buddy. Alex, thank you for your commentary, and also thanks to Kenny Hoke earlier who put in some time.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Check out the Facebook page, Make a Score Tour, YouTube channel.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.